Good morning, and thank you for joining us for the first session in our cohort called Science, Agriculture, and Energy Technology Innovation. We've got many events lined up for you, and we're excited about what's to come and the opportunities that may arise out of all of these events and trainings and collaborations. So my name is Sarah Bennett. I am with Nebraska Business Development Center, part of our innovation program, which focuses on creating innovation opportunities, specifically through funding with the Small Business Innovation Research Program, which has funding through generally 12 to 13 federal funding agencies per year. In this cohort, we are focusing on 3 specific federal agencies. So the USDA, the National Science Foundation, and the Department of Energy. All of our events are going to run basically June 15th today through September, with the intent that grant deadlines are in early October. The RFAs have not been released yet for USDA or Department of Energy, but they are forthcoming. National Science Foundation does have a rolling deadline, and so we are coupling this into the program because we do have these opportunities grouped into like categories. So in the winter, we run a medical innovation cohort specifically for the National Institutes of Health. And there's another opportunity that we run in the spring for the Department of Defense. So it's kind of what this is looking like. So this is part of our Science, Agricultural, and Energy Innovation Cohort. All of our events can be found then on our website. So nbdc.unomaha.edu/SAGE. So the upcoming opportunities to look forward to all are found on that page. Next week, next Tuesday, same time, we are doing 101, but for National Science Foundation applicants. So this is going to have information specific to the processes of NSF, a little bit different than other federal funding agencies. So we'll go through that and explain what to expect there. Then July 8th, we're going to do a session on how to identify solicitations and look at some topic areas and things, and then how to develop a quad chart. A quad chart basically is putting your technology innovation basically into a quad, 4 different blocks in it to explain it in a quick way, like a pitch to a program manager. I'll discuss that on the next slide, what that opportunity is to meet with program managers. And then on July 20th, Nisha Avey with Nebraska Department of Economic Development will be joining us to talk about the Business Innovation Act programs. So our cohort centers around SBIR and STTR funding, but it's not restricted to that. So you may be looking at other opportunities like prototype funding, or perhaps funding opportunities through Invest Nebraska. And so we want to make sure that you are aware of what that whole kind of ecosystem looks like. And so Nisha will go through that programming on July 20th. And then the big one you want to keep in mind is on July 27th, we are going to have one-on-one program manager meetings. This means you get the opportunity to visit with the expert and the program manager at the federal funding agencies to discuss your innovation appropriate to the topic areas. And so from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Time, we're going to have program manager meetings with USDA. And in the afternoon from 1 to 3, it will be with Department of Energy and the National Science Foundation. And in order to participate in this, we will need those quad charts submitted to our office by July 23rd. You'll use that as a means to talk about your technology with a program manager and make sure it's a fit before you then pursue that funding opportunity and prepare the proposal. It's a really great opportunity to just have it in front of their team to say, okay, is this a fit for the funding and the mechanisms that you have in place? And the registration for that will open at the end of next week for that. But again, in order to get the Zoom link and to participate in those meetings, you will need to submit a quad chart. And all of the meetings will be about 15 to 20 minutes. So very quick, which is why we want the quad charts in place to keep you on track and to get the most out of your meetings with those program managers. And finally, questions and answers. If you have questions throughout this program, please go ahead and enter it into the question and answer function. If you've got any technical issues or questions, please send those via chat and I will be sure to address them. Primarily, we're looking at addressing questions at the conclusion of the presentation, but if it's appropriate, we may go ahead and tackle that while Melinda is talking. And then at the end, we'll open it up and I will unmute you so we have the opportunity to do audible questions. So you're not just typing in and doing it with a text function. So we'll do that again at the conclusion of the presentation so we can have some more dialogue. So I'm now going to turn it over to Melinda Kaufman with the USDA to talk about SBIR.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to present the USDA SBIR program. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I have a presentation. And Sarah, does that show up okay?
It looks great. Thank you.
Oh, sure. Okay, so again, I'm Melinda Kaufman. I'm the program coordinator for the USDA SBIR program, and I'm very happy to be here with the Nebraska Development Center. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our SBIR program and these are our overarching program goals. We want to meet federal research and development needs by stimulating technological innovation. We want to increase private sector commercialization of innovation derived from federal R&D funding. And we really would like to foster and encourage participation in innovation and entrepreneurship by women and socially or economically disadvantaged individuals. Some of the features of the USDA SBIR program include things like that our ideas are investigator initiated. The awards are based on technical and scientific merit. The principal investigator or program director and company qualifications and the commercial potential of the innovation. Subcontracting to universities and USDA labs is permitted and it's actually encouraged. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Some of the success metrics for receiving SBIR grants include, it can increase the number of new jobs created in the US, it can increase sales in technology or services that are developed, and sales to other businesses of licenses to the technology developed. The USDA SBIR program has an annual budget around $25 million. That changes. Sometimes it goes up a little bit. Funding opportunities for SBIR grants include phase 1 is 8 months, and that's currently at $100,000 as a maximum. Phase 2 is a 2-year project timeline, and it's currently at $600,000. Phase 1 in 2019, we had, for the fiscal year 2019, we had a 14.8% award rate. That was 79 awards out of 533 applications. For fiscal year 20, we had a 16.1 award rate, which was 70 awards out of 435 applications. So it hovers, around, 15 to 16% in there. For phase 2, for fiscal year 19, we had a 40.6% award rate, which it was 26 out of 64 applications. And for fiscal year 20, we had a 42.6 award rate, which was 29 awards out of 68 applications. We also offer technical and business assistance. You might ask, what is technical and business assistance, or TABA, however you want to pronounce it. It was introduced originally as part of the John S. McCain National Defense Authorization Act in fiscal year 2019. TABA can include things like marketing, market research, financial review, intellectual property, legal costs, consults on funding strategy, or any kind of activities related to manufacturing. So for phase 1, that's $6,500 on top of the cap of $100,000. So I want to emphasize that the TABA is no cost to, doesn't come out of your budget. So it's something in addition to your budget. And so 6,500 in addition, so that would be 100,000, 6,500 is the max. So that's for phase one, and for phase two, it's 50,000 for TABA. Those are advantages, things that you can take advantage of, and we highly encourage that. Some of the topic areas the topic areas for SBIR include forests and related resources. We have 2 plant production and protection topic areas. One is biology, 8.2, and the other is engineering, which is 8.13. And then we have animal production and protection, conservation of natural resources, food, science, and nutrition, rural and community development. 8.7 is aquaculture, and we have 8.8 as biofuels and bio-based products, and small and mid-sized farms at 8.12. So for the 2 topic areas in red font, 8.6 and 8.12, rural and community development, small and mid-sized farms, those 2 topic areas do not require a completely new innovation. It can be an existing off-the-shelf innovation that is applied in a new and innovative way. And just to raise awareness of the technology areas supported by the USDA SBIR program, this is not a comprehensive list, but this is just some idea. We do everything from genetic engineering, robotics, nanotechnology, acoustics, machine vision, precision agriculture, biofuels. So all of these things are included and beyond. And then the timeline. So each year, we aim for the RFA to be released in July of each year. So we're looking towards probably mid-July this year. The proposal deadline will be in October and probably early October this year. The panels will take place in January of 22, and the awards will be June through August of 22. For phase 2, which phase 2 for USDA is only open to phase 1 awardees, there's no straight to phase 2. So for phase 2, the RFA will be released in December of this year, and the proposal deadline will be February or March of 2022. Panels will be July of 22, and notifications sent out in August, awards in November of 22. And now we're going to talk a little bit about how the review process goes. So proposals, they're evaluated by confidential peer review, a panel of experts from academia, industry, federal labs, nonprofits. So both for phase 1 and phase 2 panel, they have panels of these experts plus ad hoc reviewers. And all applicants will receive verbatim copies of their reviews. And phase 1 applicants that were not selected for funding can reapply for phase 1 funding during the next solicitation cycle, and you can use the review comments to refine your phase 1 application. Phase 2 applicants are only able to apply once. University and government scientist involvement in the USDA program, this is strongly encouraged. Scientists may serve as consultants or receive a subcontract, and it's limited to no more than 1/3 of the phase 1 award or 1/2 of the phase 2 award. And they can continue to work full-time at their home institution. Scientists may serve as the principal investigator on an SBIR grant by reducing employment at their home institution to 49% or less during the grant period if the SBIR research is performed someplace other than their research lab. It's usually not acceptable for university or government scientists to serve as consultants and have all the research done in their lab. And then development of a cooperative research and development agreement, or a CRADA, with a US lab or license is acceptable and encouraged. And what is a CRADA? It's an additional factor that will be considered in the review process to include whether a phase 1 or phase 2 application involves a CRADA with a USD laboratory or license to a USD technology. So in the event that there are 2 applications of approximately equal merit, the existence of a CRADA with a USD laboratory or license to a USD technology is an important consideration. Here are some factors that improve the chances of award success. So most importantly, having high technical, scientific, or commercial potential, having good consultants and a CRADA agreement, business expertise, and having strong letters of support from phase 3 partners, end users, consumers, investors. That's really very important. And a clear understanding of the entry and sustainability in the market. Some advice for phase 1, provide a vision of where you want to be at the end of phase 2, not necessarily the end of phase 1, but the end of phase 2. What is the market? Describe the market opportunity. Focus on the phase 1 research on the critical enabling factors, and sell the importance of your project and alignment with USDA priorities. Provide a detailed experimental plan and include proprietary information. Provide insight into the commercial potential. Show connectivity with the communities you're intending to serve by including those letters of support from end users, consumers, investors. More advice? Get registrations completed early, sam.gov, grants.gov, SBIR.gov, get a DUNS number. And remember, sam.gov can take like up to 4 weeks, so plan accordingly. Contact the topic area leader for a consult. And what I advise is once you choose your topic area, to send an informal, very brief summary of your project to the topic leader for the area your project is the best fit for, and ask for a consult in that email. So follow all the application guidelines that are listed in the RFA for format, page limits, required documents, and I can't emphasize enough that most of your questions, the answers to most of your questions are contained in the RFA. So please read it and get familiar with it and get to know it. Ensure your application responds to all the review criteria in the RFA and apply early. So lastly, I'd like to go over some success stories for USDA SBIR. Alterra's Buoyant Airborne Turbine, or BAT, leverages proven aerospace technology to lift a wind turbine into the strong, consistent winds beyond the reach of traditional towers, the economic power generation for rural communities and remote locations. The technology was featured in CNN's 2014 edition of the CNN 10 Inventions and also in the New York Times. Telecoms group SoftBank has invested $7 million in Alterra's energies for future deployment of the BAT technology in Japan. Prairie Aquatech technology developed was a natural process to convert soybean meal to fish feed using microbial enhancement. It's called MePro, and commercialization success includes recipient of the 2019 Aquafeed Innovation Award in Cologne, Germany. It's commissioned a 30,000 square foot facility in the summer 2019 to scale up production, and samples sold or sent to manufacturers in 12 countries. There'll be new products coming to market this year. And Embrex developed a highly throughput, developed higher throughput and superior technology for ovo vaccination. Technology provided benefits to enhance efficiency and bird performance. Commercialization success includes in 2001, 44 million in revenues, and employees increased from less than 10 to over 200, and it was purchased by Pfizer. So thank you for taking the time to listen to about the SBIR USDA program. And again, I'm Melinda Kaufman. I'm the SBIR program coordinator. We also have Kelly McDonald, who is our very knowledgeable SBIR program specialist. And you can reach us with questions at sbir@usda.gov. You can also reach me by just using my name, melinda.kaufman@usda.gov. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Melinda. Just a quick note for folks. When Melinda was talking about the registrations with SAM, SBIR.gov and the like, our office helps with that process to navigate it and all of the steps. And as she indicated, it can be take a little bit of time. So you want to be cognizant of that and not wait until the middle of September to get things going. On, I believe it's August 10th, we will be doing a session with our team, with our Procurement Technical Assistance Center that's under Nebraska Business Development Center. They specifically work with folks on government contracting. So anybody that sells their goods or services to the government does have to have a DUNS number and register in these systems for awards management, so SAM. And so Quentin Farley, our PTech consultant, will walk folks through that process kind of generally. And then it's ideal to really do kind of a one-on-one because each situation can be unique in terms of your company and getting all of those things just so and lined up so it meets the needs of the government as you're doing this, since it is a grant coming from the federal government. That's the process for doing so. And we'll have the opportunity to do that. So as Melinda indicated, oh, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
I was just going to add that that is just really important. We had at least one applicant who was not able to meet the deadline last year because of the SAMS number. So I just, want to emphasize how important that is. And Sarah, I'm glad your program actually helps people walk people through all those registrations. Very helpful.
We do have a question that came in. Melinda, is a new process for drilling water or geothermal wells a topic of interest?
For yeah, I would think so. I mean, what I would suggest is that you look at the topic areas, and you can look at the RFA for last year that was should still be online, and so you can look at the topic areas there. They will not change much, so you can get the general feel for that and look and see, as long as it's for agricultural purpose or for rural and community development. I would think that would be a very appropriate topic area. But I would look at the topic areas, and I would contact the national program leader, kind of the way that I described, where just do a very informal, brief summary of your project and send it to the topic area, email it to the topic area national program leader, and ask for a consult.
I did put in the chat there the RFA from this last year. It was updated partway through with research topic areas kind of appropriate for COVID. But on page 8 of that PDF link, it begins with 8.1 topic area, forests and related resources. So you can kind of take a look at some of those things to see what is a fit. Because yeah, as Melinda said, not much is going to change year to year. And so that's a good place to look at it. And you can work with our office in terms of looking at that innovation, and we'll help you fine tune that, prepare it so then you can meet with those program managers on July 27th, because we have lined all of that up. So you get the opportunity to have those exclusive times with them and to make sure it's the right fit. So it should be generally around the time this fiscal year's RFA will be released. That's our anticipation anyways, based on historical releases. So let me check here. I think we had another question. Oh, it was answered, but the button is still there. So our team will continue to have more opportunities in terms of learning and understanding these programs and what it's about. And another great opportunity will be toward the end of the process, where you're figuring things out and putting the proposal together and doing all of that, and to visit with other folks that are applying, whether it's USDA, NSF, or Department of Energy, to collaborate in a session is what we call discuss and discuss. And you learn a lot from others in that, just to say, okay, here's my frustration, and somebody else says, I figured that out, and here's how it works. And so it's a really great opportunity to learn during that time frame. And so our goal is to help you prepare it all, get things ready to go. And there is a few grant writers around, but you'll want to kind of start to pull your ideas together. So when you're ready to hit the go button, you've got those folks lined up, and NBDC can help connect on that front as well. I don't think I saw any more questions come in. The session, we have been recording it, and so we will send it out to you after the session, and then we will also upload it to our site on that Science, Agricultural, and Energy page, so you can view it later on and see what those things look like, especially as it relates to the advice pieces, because those are really, really key things to make your proposal stand out. And it can be hard to remember those things when you're in the middle of reading through the RFA and all of the details and keeping it straight, but bearing in mind the key points to making a successful proposal. So thank you for joining us this morning, and thank you, Melinda, for your time and sharing your insights with the USDA SBIR program. Again, this is the first of several sessions that NBDC will be hosting throughout the summer in anticipation of phase one in October. But if you're ready for phase two, then hopefully these sessions can be helpful for that too, and an early preparation. So
could I add one more thing, Sarah? Would that be right? So a common thing that happens with the USDA SBIR topic areas is they're pretty wide open, because we want to capture as much innovation as we can. So oftentimes a company, a small business, will have an innovation that fits in more than one topic area. So if that's in your case, what I suggest you do is just try to choose the topic area that you feel is the best fit, and then go ahead and do, as I've said, and just contact that topic area national program leader. And they are usually familiar with all the topic areas, so they can guide you if they feel like you have a better fit in a different topic area. So don't be surprised if you find allegiance between several topic areas. That's very common.
excellent. Thank you for that advice. With that, we will wrap up. Thank you everyone for joining us, and hopefully you can continue to hop on some of our sessions that we have coming up. Thank you.
Thank you.